Gaming is a subculture that has been around for decades and is widely known across the entire globe. With nearly 2 billion people across the globe engaging with video games, companies are booming with revenue and consumerism, and it's only getting bigger. The first look into the gaming industry is of course the hot topic of streaming, and video games revolving around it. Here we have a famous streamer, Joelatron. Here we have Joel Bencini, brother of Tim Bencini. He's actually getting up now, not in shot. You know what, he's a wild character, we'll let him do his thing. Veteran gamer since a young age. Plays all sorts, all kinds of genres. He's just a madman. Oh, I meant to get questions up on my phone. Hello Joel, I'm Tim.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Joel. I'm sure you know who I am. Growing up with you a few years, about 12, 13 now. I think I know you pretty well, so I'm going to go ahead and shoot some questions here I've got written down. If that's okay. Consent? Cool. Now obviously you're a big gamer. Big time gamer. Streamer as well, in fact. First question I got here for you, Joel, is how long have you been gaming?
Probably since I was like 5 or 6.
5, 6 years old?
Yeah, or 4.
That's like year 2, isn't it?
Well, when I was
year
really
1?
young, I used to just go on my computer and just open up Halo and listen to the music. Because
I'm not gonna lie, Joel, Halo definitely the best soundtrack. Definitely one of the best soundtracks ever. Here we have pro gamer Anton Forbes. However, online he's known as Tron, with a 0 for an O. We've come at a bit of an awkward time as he's currently in the middle of his scrimmage practice for his pro team. Ooh, bad luck.
Awful player.
Bad luck, Anton.
Look at him.
Bad luck.
That's not going in, I think, is it?
Yeah, I'm afraid it is.
No, it's not. You can't have me saying I just died to this awful player.
It is. This is all going in it. I'm going to beep it all out. When something usually isn't going your way on video games, this leads to frustration, or in most cases, raging. Raging in video games is very common and happens to most people. They usually are quick and only last from around 30 seconds to 10 minutes, but it's never a grudge-holding situation. Symptoms include an uncontrollable urge to break or hit things, yelling and shouting, a lot of explicit language, and accelerated heart rate. The following clips you're seeing are in fact cases of game raging that are quite serious.
Boy, we're dropping that Moisty Mire.
Moisty Mire is a location based in the world famous game Fortnite that is just blown up at the moment. Moving on to the craze of Fortnite and away from the raging, we want to give you guys an insight on the video game and its huge success. In a single weekend in February, 3.4 million people were actively playing the game at the same time, a huge record in the gaming industry. The game itself is actually free to play, however, through in-game purchases, the company have brought in a record of over $300 million since the game launched in September last year. This includes the mobile version of the game, which helped tremendously bring in revenue, with around $1.5 million being spent on the mobile app every day. A study showed that American iPhone users are spending more time on Fortnite than any other app except Netflix, which means dating apps like Tinder or even basic social media apps like Instagram are falling behind. Aside from the money, the game is super addicting. You may be wondering why. It's honestly just super engaging, whether you're playing or just watching your older brother play it because you're not good enough. It's just addictive to watch. Its vivid colours and cartoony design help keep you satisfied, as it's also family friendly, which helped rack in the number of players. Now you know a little bit about the game, we're going to be interviewing some gamers that have volunteered to talk to us about their experiences with gaming in their own lives. Introducing Matthew, Anton, and Tony, all here to talk to us about their gaming life. Here we have Tony Hamblin. We've spoken to a pro gamer, a pro streamer, and now Tony Hamblin is just our Joe average gamer. Ain't that right, Tony?
It sure is.
Tony, is it okay if I can ask you some questions I have written down?
Of course you can. So yeah.
Here we have Matthew Hales. Did I say that correctly, sir?
Yeah, that's Hales, yeah, let's go with that.
That's good, cool. Matthew Hales, another average gamer,
Halesy.
just... Halesy, yeah, that's his online name if you want to hit that up. Another average gamer, just like our previous interviewee, Tony Hamblin. Is it okay if I can shoot you some questions here?
Yeah, no problem, no problem.
So, Tron, we've sat you down here. I'm just going to have a quick interview, hope that's okay. No personal questions, it will be purely about gaming. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Sure, no problem. So, how long have you been gaming, Tron?
I've been gaming since like, was that 9? I think.
9? That's quite an early age.
It's been a long time. I've been gaming ever since I was around 6 years old, so just around 11 years.
I'd say around 7 years now.
7?
Yeah.
So how old were you? You can't quite do the maths on demand here. That's about, what, 11 years old?
About 12. But
12 years old?
11, 12.
The oldest starter. So you started around 6 years old then, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you remember what your first console was?
First console, it was a Nintendo DS.
Nintendo DS, the
Yeah.
old ones.
Yeah.
So I got my first Xbox, the original, when GTA 4 came out. Christmas Day.
Damn, that's quite old.
Best day of my life.
So that's pretty good stuff. GTA 4?
I was 8 at the time.
8. Okay. So that was your first console then, the original Xbox ever?
It sure was.
The Game Boy.
Game Boy, is that your first console then?
I guess you could say console.
It's a handheld, portable one. What was your favourite game on there?
Oh,
Too many?
Pokemon, obviously.
Pokemon. Which Pokemon is that?
Honestly, cannot remember.
Can't remember. To be honest, I've never really played Pokemon. I know it's kind of heartbreaking.
Okay, we're going a bit off topic here, but
What was the first game you played with them? Was that GTA?
GTA 4, yeah.
Did you enjoy that one? Not the best.
It was alright.
For how young you were your parents okay with how violent GTA was?
Yeah.
They were okay with
Yeah,
it?
they were fine.
First game was Pokemon Diamond.
Pokemon player.
Absolutely great game.
Would you be offended
Remember
if I said I haven't really played Pokemon before?
It's whatever, innit?
It is whatever. You know, it's not everyone's cup of tea. Then what was your favourite game then, over all consoles in your whole life? Could you remember?
probably Rust or CS.
Rust or CS? Is that CS Counter-Strike Global Offensive?
Yeah, not 1.6.
Not 1.6, no.
Fortnite's really good at the moment.
That's good.
But if I had to choose a game, I'd say Modern Warfare 2 on the old Xbox 360.
Modern Warfare 2, that's a great pick.
Favourite game at the moment. Right now it's popping up as Fortnite.
Everyone's saying
But-
Fortnite.
A game that I've always liked is like Black Ops 2.
Black Ops 2. You know what that's...
Xbox game chat was just the best.
It was always popping off on there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Do you remember what rank you got up to on CS?
Global.
Ooh, that's sweaty, isn't it? That is top rank for you people that do not know the ranks in that. How many hours in the game?
2,000 hours.
2,000 on CSGO and on Rust.
500.
500? I thought you had over 1,000. That's a lot for a pro gamer. Tony, I couldn't agree more with you there. Modern Warfare 2 was very good in its prime. Had some amazing memories with some friends. Can you relate to that one?
Yeah.
It's very good. I understand that one. Everyone's favourite game has been Fortnite for recent, and in the past it's always been a Call of Duty.
Because Call of Duty was good back then. Right now it's trash.
It's just not good at the moment, is it?
No.
Could you give us your favourite platform to play games on?
I only had a PlayStation 3 and a PlayStation 2 actually, that's a lie. But I preferred Xbox.
Really?
It was a lot more like, felt like it was more simple, like
Yeah,
the
I
layout,
know what you
the
mean.
UI.
It was more like friendly for the children, wasn't it?
I'd say the Xbox 360. Way back when it was good.
Yeah.
But now it's PS4.
There you and the Xbox 360 right next to it. How's that?
Xbox,
Xbox?
mainly because holds most memories. I had Halo on there. Call of Duty. Met a ton of online buddies.
I'm in the same boat as you,
Good
Matthew.
stuff.
It's always been like that, hasn't it?
Exactly.
But I don't really play console anymore. I usually just stick to PC.
PC gamer. Did you play a lot with your friends on Xbox? I feel like that was the reason.
Like, that was, yeah.
No one was really on PlayStation growing up. Alright, Matthew, well, it's been a pleasure interviewing you, sir. that was all the questions I had for you.
No problem, no problem.
Matthew Hells, Average Gamer, coming at you. Well, thank you, Tony. That's all the questions I have for you today.
No problem.
You've been
It
a
was
great.
a pleasure to meet you.
It was very good. I'll see you round. Thank you. I hope to see you again.
Yeah.
As we come to a close on this gaming subculture journey, we stop and think about the impact that video games really have on our lives. The industry has come to such a phenomenon that almost every single human being on the planet is at least familiar with gaming itself. Now that's a lot of people. I'd like to thank anyone who watched this episode and to hopefully see you again. Goodbye. Favorite Fortnite dance, favorite Fortnite dance, favorite Fortnite dance. Take the L? Folk dance?